Before we dive into today's episode, if you're a coach who wants a simple roadmap to turn your coaching vision into a life-first business, make sure you grab a copy of my free Spacious Business Blueprint. It's a one-page planning tool, plus a short training that walks you through the 7 core foundations that create steady client flow. So if things have been feeling scattered or heavier than you know they should, this is going to help you step back, look at the big picture, and see exactly what needs your focus right now. The link to grab your copy is in the show notes. All right, let's get into today's episode.
So many coaches who are building their business online have fallen into the trap of feeling like social media is the key that's going to unlock their success, or a necessary evil that they have to do even though it doesn't feel aligned. So they're pouring their energy into posting consistently, coming up with new content ideas every week, keeping up with the algorithm and all the shifts and changes, thinking about things like hooks and audio and B-roll and all the things that creating content entails. And this becomes exhausting. I know a lot of coaches I work with feel this, that it doesn't feel like the best use of time and not the most effective way to be using your energy and your creativity, and that you're putting in all this work to create content, but it's not building enough momentum. And it can feel like you're trying to stand out, trying to get attention, but still struggling to turn that visibility into actual clients and consistent client flow in your business. And the reason for this is that you have so much depth and value to share when it comes to your coaching, but trying to communicate all of that depth in short snippets on social media just doesn't feel effective. Now, in last week's episode, I introduced the idea of taking a different approach to content by building a simple content engine that supports your client attraction, a system where your short-form content leads people into deeper, long-form content that builds trust, shares your perspective, helps people understand your coaching, and nurtures them over time. So you've got a marketing system that's working for you 24/7 and compounding over time. This is part 2 in that series, and I'm going to be talking about the first foundation that will make this kind of content engine actually work. And it's clear niche positioning. Welcome to the Life First Coaching Business Podcast, where ambitious, purpose-led coaches trade hustle and burnout for simplicity, freedom, and clients who light them up. I'm Leonie, ex-architect and business owner turned business coach. If you're craving a business that feels spacious, joyful, and actually fun, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll be diving into the strategies, the systems, and the mindset you need to make your coaching business work for you. So let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm going to be diving into the first foundation of building your simple content engine to fuel your client attraction in your coaching business in a spacious and calm and time-leveraged way. And I introduced this whole concept of philosophy in the last episode. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, then I suggest you jump back one episode and listen to that one first. And in this one, we're going to dive into why your positioning is the important first step in creating this kind of content engine. And the reason for that is that without clear positioning, which is how you're positioning yourself within your niche, your content will become vague. Your message will become broad and diluted, and your ideas won't feel distinctive. And therefore, it becomes much harder for the right people to recognize that your coaching is for them, or for the right people to lean in and actually want to click on your piece of content and click through and learn more. So if you feel like you've got lots to say, but you're not sure exactly what angle to take, or your content is feeling too broad or not quite landing the way you hoped, then often the problem is that you haven't got that clarity on your positioning yet. You know what your coaching niche is, but it's that next layer, it's that deeper layer of how you're positioning yourself within your niche so that you stand out and you can clearly explain what you're all about and why your coaching is different. And your content engine needs to have clear themes, clear topics, and clear ideas that build on that perspective and communicate that perspective. Otherwise, it won't stand out to your ideal client and do the right things to nurture them and move them forward into booking a discovery call with you or inquiring about your coaching. So the first important thing to note is that niching is not just about who you help. And the biggest misunderstandings about choosing a niche is that it's simply about niching down so that you're reducing the pool of people you help as a way to become specific. It's not just about the person you help and the type of coach you are, but it's about understanding what feels uniquely relevant to your ideal client right now. What kind of support are they really looking for? And why your approach feels like the right fit for them. So when you're thinking about your ideal client, you don't just want to be thinking about their demographics, their gender, and the problem they're experiencing, but thinking more deeply about their values, their beliefs, why this problem is so painful and urgent to them, why they care about tackling it and solving it, and the fact that they are willing and ready to invest in solving that problem. And that's the type of person you want to be speaking to. And getting clear on who that is the first step to allow you to do that. And the second part of your positioning is what makes your work distinctive, so that people can understand why your approach is specific, why it's tailored to that type of person, why it feels relevant to them, and why your coaching offers something different to the other solutions out there, or the other things they might be trying, or the things that they might be believing are the solution to their problem. So you really want to be thinking about creating a clear picture of how you help your ideal client specifically, what kind of transformation you support, and why your way of helping feels aligned for the right people. And that way, instead of sounding like lots of other coaches in your space and blending into the noise, it will start to feel much more specific. Your message will stand out and it will be more memorable. And then the third part of your positioning is your personal brand. It's a big part of how you sit within your niche, is your perspective, your beliefs, your experiences, your character and your personality, and what working with you is like, and your way of approaching this problem and the type of solution that you have to offer. And it's the human element that's so important these days with the advent of AI and people trying to use ChatGPT to solve their problems. It's more important than ever to get clear on the human side of your business and the human side of your brand. And that's going to help your coaching and your content stand out. And it's going to help you see what you need to include in your long form content pieces that make up your content engine, so that it does stand out as something different and stand out as a new opportunity for them, and as for something that they feel excited to know more about and interested to know more about. So making sure that personal brand piece is clearly woven into your content will make it feel much more distinctive. So when you've got clear on these things and you've got clarity on your positioning, it will make that content much easier to create, because your topics will become clearer, your ideas will feel more natural, and the message becomes more distinctive and consistent. And the important thing that you want to be thinking about when you're creating the pieces of long-form content is who that ideal client is and what they're thinking about and going through when they're starting to seek solutions. So when they're in that problem-aware phase, what are they searching for? What questions do they have in their mind? And what are they actively seeking out online? Because you really want to meet them where they're at, but then show them your unique perspectives in that piece of content. So that's an important thing to think about as well, and why having clarity on that ideal person is so important. To summarize, if you want your content engine to work effectively, the first step is this positioning step, making sure your positioning is clear so that your content is built on ideas that feel relevant and specific and distinctive. And when you've got that, everything will become much easier and it'll be much clearer to you what you need to build into those key pieces of content. So if this is making you think that you haven't got enough clarity yet on your positioning and you want support with that and help with that, I have an on-demand workshop, which is a 60-minute training with exercises where I guide you through my 5 lever niching framework. And it means that you'll walk away with that clarity on who you help, how you help them, what makes your work different, and how to clearly communicate all of that and weave your personal brand into it. And in that workshop, you create assets like your positioning statement, your origin story, a simple personal brand outline, so that you've got key assets that will help inform your content and inform your messaging. And you've got that strong foundation to build your content engine from. It's the lowest cost way that you can work with me, and it's the first step that informs everything else in your strategy. So it's a really great investment in your coaching business to help you get that clarity and help you get it really quickly and fast. So I'll include the link to that workshop in the show notes. And in the next part of this series, we're going to be diving into more detail about messaging and how to get clarity on your messaging and weave that through your content engine as well. So I'll catch you next week for that one. As I said, make sure that you've listened to episode 1 of the series if you haven't yet. And if you've got any questions or any thoughts about what I've shared today, please jump over onto Instagram and send me a message. If you've got a couple of seconds spare, please follow the show, like it, leave a rating and a review if you can, because all of that helps the show to grow. And if you know any other coaches who would find this helpful, please share it with them as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, for sticking around till the end. I'll catch you again next time. Take care. This episode is brought to you by the Life First Coaching Business Playbook. If you're building your coaching business and you want a clear, connected strategy that actually works for you, the playbook walks you through installing the foundations that create steady client flow. Inside, you'll refine your niche and offer, shape a visibility strategy that leads to real conversations, install a simple sales process and clean system so you can attract clients and lead your containers with calm and confidence. So your effort builds into a business that genuinely feels good to run. It's self-paced, it's practical, and it's designed for coaches who want clarity and structure without the hustle. You'll find the link with all the details in the show notes.